Okay, welcome everybody. This is our satsang for Shiva Ratri. And we all know that Shiva Ratri is right around the corner. It will be celebrated Friday night on the West Coast and go into Saturday. And we have a uh, phenomenal amount of energy that is coming in. And so we're in the process of really kind of integrating it. And the purpose of this particular meeting is to really kind of explore, look at, and share with each other the process leading up to Shiva Ratri. And so that we can all use the energy from this week leading into Shiva Ratri and then Shiva Ratri day, and how to maximize, implement, and to receive what you need for your spiritual meditation processes. So
we are the spiritual podcast channel.
yes, we're the spiritual podcast channel. We do everything spiritual, where the spirituality and the real world come to the intersection, and we bring the intersection to life.
That's right.
So we're going to have Kowski kind of take the lead on this thing for this first portion of it.
Well, we're going to first do opening mantras. We always do opening mantras prior to starting a process or a meditation, just inviting the guru and all the divine beings in to assist us and help us, and to be present when we're doing our work. So let's first one, guru mantra, inviting the guru in, Ganesh, removing obstacles, and Gayatri, which is the form of the mother that does not play any illusions on you. So, oh, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Suklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sashivaranam Chatupacham Prasanavaranam Dhyaye Savavigno Prashantaye. Om Bhurabhuvasuvaha Tatsaviturvahenyam Bhago Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So, welcome to our little podcast. And people are wondering, well, who the heck is Shiva? Who is this Shiva character? In the Hindu mythology or religion, whatever you want to call it, there are three primary main male deities. They all have their female deities that go with them, because in life you will see there's always male and there's always female. So Shiva, if you take the word, let's go back. If you take the word God, you can break it down into G-O-D. There's always a starting point. That's the generator. That would be a Brahma. He starts things going. His consort is Saraswati. Then you have Vishnu, O. You have to have some force that continually keeps the creation operating and going, maintaining. His consort is Lakshmi. Then you have the letter D. Shiva destroys that which is no longer necessary. So it could be anything in your life that is no longer needed, unwanted behavior, or you've come to an end, like in a particular job, and now you're starting on a new adventure, whatever it is. And you can see at the world at large, we're kind of in that phase right now. So his consort is Parvati or Mahakali and Ganga, actually. So they all work together because you always have a balance between the masculine and the feminine. So it is the Shiva Shakti, it's called. Shiva being the male energy, Shakti, the female energy that is present in all things. It's the manifesting energy, that spark that creates that creative spark, and then it keeps it flowing. So that's kind of a rough thing, because Shiva, if you look at an egg, his symbol is called is a Shiva lingam. It's egg-shaped. And if you look at an egg, there is no beginning, no end. It just keeps going around and around. It's constantly going. So he's infinite. He has no beginning and no ending. It's this constant, huge, huge energy that when you tap into that, it brings you this amazing peace. And it's through the meditation that we do, and through meditation that you tap into this huge divine inner silence, inner peace. You tap into unconditional love. So all these things are hidden within inside us. All we have to do is close our eyes. When we do that, our third eye, which is our intuition, our intuitive state, our inner guidance, you could call it, or inner guru, that opens so that you are accessing this amazing energy that's in creation to be able to bring forward or have a deeper understanding of yourself, or bring forward what you're wanting to try to understand for your life. So he's really powerful. I'm going to read Swami Kaleshwar, his definition. Shiva is the ultimate master. He's the beginning and the end of the Guru Parampara. The only relationship is between master and student. So our only true relationship is with Shiva. So all paths lead back to Shiva. You know, you can see on the old-fashioned carts, you know, you have the wheel with all the spokes. Well, all those spokes are just going back into a center hub. That's Shiva. All things go back to him. Shiva meditates throughout the year. And what is he meditating on? It's a good question, huh? He's trying to keep the peace. There's a big story about how Shiva, so we won't get in that, but Shiva's holding the poison of the world. And so he's meditating, and he's just kind of keeping all the negativity, keeping the illusions that Mother creates kind of at bay for people. He's the one, if you are having a lot of issues or troubles in your life, and there's a lot of disturbances coming to you, you want to pray to Shiva and ask for his help to stop all the disturbances that is created by what's called Maya to stop hitting you. I mean, sometimes we have to have that because we are here to learn and grow. Earth in the earth plane and as a physical existence is here for us to learn and grow. So you have to have a little hard things to make you a tougher person, for you to learn and grow and expand. Otherwise, you know, we'd all be sitting under the tree doing what, you know? So you have to have these challenges or tests to make you a stronger, better person. And also it helps when you're having tests, you start going, wow, what else is out there? And it starts creating this desire within you to start really going, okay, what is really going on here? Why is all this happening? And you start digging deeper and starting to go into questioning, and maybe that'll lead you into a spiritual path, which a lot of people come into because they've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, and now they want to really get to a better, more peaceful state of being and a way to handle life better. So they come onto the path looking for tools that can help them in their daily life. So Shiva meditates throughout the year, but there's one night in which he wakes up. And at that time, so mother's constantly creating. She's constantly creating, constantly creating. But when she knows he's going to wake up, because that's the only night he's going to wake up, she's no longer paying attention. It's like if you have kids, you all know, if you're trying to have quality time with your husband, your spouse, whatever, and they're coming to bug you, you'll give them whatever they want so they'll go away. Sure, kid, here. Take this candy. I know you shouldn't have it, but here, go away because we're busy. So she's not paying attention to the creation at that point, and to you, her focus is on her husband, Shiva. So when that happens for that one night, you can ask for some amazing gifts to be given to you called boons. It could be for deepening your spiritual practice, or tools to be able to handle the ups and downs of life, or lead me to the right pathway on my life. Right now I'm stuck. I'm not happy. I really need some guidance. Everything is specific to you and what your pathway is. It's not the same for everybody. So you'll have to really dig deep between now and Friday night to really think hard about what is it that you are wanting to bring into your life. So I'm going to read a little bit about Shiva Ratri. This will kind of give a context. This is from Swami. Shiva is always meditating, but what is he meditating? That's the big question to the entire spiritual kingdom. He's meditating on his own wife, Shakti. He needs Shakti, otherwise he's a zero. I'm always on the women's kingdom side. He's meditating on his wife, but he also has a fear of his wife because she's the big illusion lady, and he doesn't want her illusions to come on him. He wants to make her balanced, to make everything in a smooth way. That's why if you have a power object, a power spot, and use your pin code, a personal mantra, the intention is for Shiva. That's why I gave the Shiva clay power spot, which is located in Penakonda, India. The Shiva clay means you're hooking Shiva's energy. Your soul gets hugely purified with the Shiva energy. Who is really stuck with Mother Divine? In other words, there's a lot of disturbances in your life. Shiva is the only person can help you get out from that. There's no other way. Even though you are a master, a powerful healer, the Shiva energy is the only possible way for you to walk out from the illusions from Mother Divine's tests. If you surrender to Shiva, hey man, please take care with your wife. She's the big lady from the creation. I really, really need your help. That's offering that prayer with a big open heart and desire. Hey, if you really surrender, he's the only one person in the universe who knows how to operate her A to Z. Whatever the negativity is in us, if we chant the Shiva prayers, we can handle the negativity very easily, especially on Shiva Ratri. This period of time, Mother cannot play any illusions that easily on any soul. She's pretty big diverted on her husband's time. He'll wake up, he'll come to me. You know what I'm saying? She's waiting. It's true. She neglects lots of things. She's only focusing on the Shiva. The Shivaratri day, these 3 days energy, so that would be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this year. On the new moon day, if we do the channels of Shiva, there's a golden statement. For many lifetimes, whatever negative karmas we've done, they'll get burned, get washed out, will get completely purified. Shiva gave only 1 day when he wakes up from his meditation. Once he wakes up, then we tell our prayers, our wishes. This is the time you can really hit it to receive what you want. Only on that day, Shiva wakes up from his meditation, and he wants to merge with whomever really opened their hearts. He wants to merge with his students to lift it and connect it more powerfully. The remaining time, he's sitting in the holy grounds, completely in a trance and meditation. That day, only he wakes up. So that day is a very special day because Shiva wakes up from his meditation. Lord Shiva is the ultimate final goal to give any type of abilities and to destroy all our blocks. That means all our tendencies, anger, jealousy, left out, those kinds of things, and give the final enlightenment. The most final, highest ability. He's the top character to be able to give that. He's Bolo Shankara. Bolo Shankara means easily you can make him impress and receive whatever you want. Once you receive enough Shiva energy in you, Mother Divine automatically has to be in your presence. She gave that boon to Shiva. We don't need to get that from her. Just concentrate on Shiva. Make him impressed.
Right. That's that last quote was really a pinnacle, Kausuki. It's about absorbing the Shiva energy, because when you absorb the Shiva energy, then you're able to handle the creation, which is the Maya. Used a lot of really great terms. Maya is the nature that is the mirror for our individual enlightenment. Volume up. Okay, let's see if we can volume up. How's that? It's better? Is better? Volume up?
Maybe sit closer to your microphone.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me just how's that? Is that better?
It's about the same.
It's about the same. All right. Why don't I bring the microphone right here?
That's better.
Okay, good. Super. That's great. I think I get a lot of people that ask, what is this path all about? And then I meditated on this for quite some time. And the reality is that there are two aspects of this, of the Sri Kaleshwar path. The first aspect is to recognize who you are, where you came from, where you're going. So it's about your personal process of enlightenment, of really connecting with that divine consciousness, which we call Shiva. And it's a seed of consciousness that we're really connecting to. And you can see that everything in the Sri Kaleshwar path is about understanding the relationship between the divine masculine consciousness and the divine feminine, which is the expression of that consciousness in creation. So it is one part about understanding who you are, where you came from, through the silence, through the meditation, through the practices, through the time cycles. We can accumulate greater quantities of energy, greater quantities of power, and to be able to have stamina, to be able to integrate and to work within the nature, which is the mother, which is the Shiva, which is the Shakti, which is the energy. Because we all know that, you said it perfectly. It's the Maya. It is the nature of the nature to create duality, to create separation, to create fear, to create the mother does that in order to perpetuate that cycle of birth and death. And inherent in that cycle of birth and death is really suffering. And what is suffering? Suffering is the poisons that we have taken upon ourselves about who we think we are. And so Shiva Ratri is that time where we begin to start to quiet the mind, balance the elements, and go within to the source of that power inside of us. And it's really remarkable because the stronger you get through these cycles of energy, which is what Shiva Ratri is. Shiva Ratri is a cycle of energy that comes every 12 months, throughout the year. And why is it so important? Because, it's the moon cycles along with the global celebration of returning back to the divine masculine energy and bringing that energy up within us, and to be able to essentially open our hearts to a higher consciousness, to a higher power of intelligence that is there to guide us. So a lot of times, Swami Kalshwar was so brilliant with his intention with his students during the times where it was heavy in the Shiva energy, heavy in the consciousness of that divine masculine seed of universal consciousness, that the nature would calm down. And it was his intention during these periods of time. I remember in 2008, for Shiva Ratri, February, he used that time to be able to pull the mother into a form and to give a darshan so that people can have experience. And why it was possible was because the master, which is the form of Shiva, which is the form of consciousness, that is that power that understands how to hold and maintain the Shakti energy, was able to give darshan, or a witnessing or a manifestation of Mother Divine. And, it was Swami Kalshwar's intention for people to receive quantums of energy in the form of boons, abilities, and those abilities are a result of quantums of energy. So, it took many of us years before we got to the point where we would be able to get to that peak experience, so that we could shift our consciousness and our awareness of what the reality was, as it relates to Shiva and Shakti. For many of us, it was like, oh, wow. I had a visitation of Mother Divine. And during that visitation, I received a boon. I received a gift. I received an ability that I could pass on to other people, and to share that with the rest of creation, that whole cycle, the cycle of receiving, destroying, and regenerating was there. So what is it that we want out of Shiva Ratri? Everybody says, well, I just want to just meditate. Let's just do Om Namah Shivaya. Well, in every practice that Swami shared with us, there was always an intention or an aim or a focus or a purpose to your meditation. And so it's really important that for Shiva Ratri, that we go into it with clarity about what we would like and what we need in our spiritual path, so that we can receive. For a long time, it was healing. It's like I would go in Shiva Ratri, it says, please purge the illusion of heartbreak from my being. Remove the vibrational seed that is in my auric field, so that I can raise my vibrations and remove those obstacles that separate me from understanding and experiencing, because it's really about experiencing. Because if you don't experience, the reality of what the masters talked about, if we don't understand what the purpose of these masters are to us, we've lost a connection there. And part of that, yes, Kowski?
I just wanted to bring up one thing about our intentions. Ultimately, it's not just for ourselves. It's also for the ultimate purpose is to help on the planet. So we first kind of work with us, what's going on internally, but the ultimate goal is then to take that and to help on the planet, because Swami really wanted masters and healers on the planet to help change and shift the negativity that is here. And so we have to also keep that in mind as we're asking for our boons. Okay, so if I receive this particular gift, how am I going to use it? Am I going to use it in a proper way? Because if you don't use it in a proper way, it will come back to bite you, you know? So if I'm asking for this particular boon, how am I going to use it? Am I
Right.
going to use it to help on the planet? Am I going to use it to help heal? Am I going to use it just, so that's just something else, another aspect for
Right.
regarding intention.
Right. And really it's about understanding the responsibility of receiving blessings and to be able to balance that blessing that you receive to benefit and uplift the planet, because really you're taking the mother's energy and you're using her energy to help connect her energy with people that are unaware of her vast presence and the miracles that stand behind her energy. And it's almost as if that Swami wanted, Swami's purpose was to be a bridge, to be a bridge between the divine, which people were not aware of, and the souls that were covered in illusion. And the biggest illusion is that separation from the divine, the Atma from the Para-Atma, or the individual soul from its source. Because just think about it, we were all on a micro level. I like to share this example because it really hit for me that we were all born from our physical mother, is it not? Okay, then if that's the truth of the physical plane, the 3D plane, where was your soul created or birthed into this creation from? Because the soul was split off from the source, like soul splitting. Where did it come from? Must have come from Mother Divine, or that form of the Creator. And Mother Divine took what? Took the seed of consciousness from her partner Shiva in order to create. So that for me was a real aha moment, because I began to understand, well, oh my God, I'm just a spark of that divine creation. I want to go back to source, because I'm always tired, in this physical creation. But, how do I rejuvenate my energy? Going back and feeding the soul energy with the divine energy, with the divine source, which is divine consciousness, which is the mother's energy. Isn't it amazing? We go back to our mother for her love and affection. Why can't we go back to the infinite universal mother to help heal and nurture our soul? That's how we do it.
And how do you do that?
Isn't that your section, Kowski? I think you're supposed to share about that insight. What's the mechanism, Kowski, since you're a divine form of a female? And how does it work with Shiva Ratri, for God's sake? Shift my consciousness so that we can all kind of grow together here about getting our head in the game.
So it's very interesting that the source of the solution, we always are looking outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
and we're always thinking it's going to be something out there and the next thing out there and the next thing out there. I mean, you see it. It's like you're constantly chasing after something out there.
Right.
But the divine hid the solution within inside of us.
Yeah.
And that's where the meditation practices and going deep into the silence and connecting with these prayers and these mantras that are divine energy sounds. Okay, so these bijas are part of the creative source of sound. And so using these connects us into, divine source. And then that in turn helps start changing our own vibrations to start resonating at a higher and higher level, and connecting to source. And so the secret really is that we have to stop and slow down and go within to be able to access this energy and access, that healing that takes place.
So what's the vehicle? What's the vehicle that we're going to use for Shiva Ratri, Kelsey? Let's talk about the process,
Okay. So on Shiva Ratri Day, as you heard Swami say, it's an opportunity to connect deeply with Shiva and ask for your intention. So what we're going to do is we're going to give out a mantra, and you can start doing it from now until Shiva Ratri night, which is the 7th of March, which is Friday night.
Friday night.
We're going to use a simple mantra because there's some of you that have never ever meditated or tried to use mantra. So we're going to give a simple one, and it connects directly to Shiva. Now, Shiva, he is the master of the 5 elements. Everything in creation is made up of the 5 elements. So this mantra connects directly to Shiva, and it also connects to the 5 elements. And it's Om Na Ma Shi Vai Ya. So as you are meditating, you're going to use this particular mantra. For those who are just starting out, you can do Friday night from 10,
Anytime after sunset is fine.
anytime after sunset. For 10 minutes, sit down, light a candle. You can even have a flower, a nice quiet place. You don't want to be disturbed. And you can sit down for 10 minutes. If you want to go longer, terrific. If you want to go later in the evening when there's no disturbance and everybody's asleep, that is a better time because it's a lot more peaceful and quiet in the creation. So you're going to use that. And as you're doing the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, you're going to also be thinking about what it is that you want to ask. And then after you've completed the amount of time that you want to spend, just sit there and observe what's happening. How are you feeling? Are you quiet? Were you able to go into the deep silence? And just kind of sit quietly. So we're going to use that Shiva Ratri night. You guys know what we need to do on Shiva Ratri Day. And then also,
go ahead.
Paul's having, you want to talk about what you're going to do at the temple?
Yeah, a couple other things, for those people who want to really even go beyond the Om Namah Shivaya mantra, at some particular point in time, you'll want to get a personal mantra. I know for a lot of the senior people that are on this call, they already have been initiated into a personal mantra, which is your personal connection to that Shiva energy. That if anybody's interested to receive a personal mantra, they can contact me at my website, paularyeh.com, or send me an instant message on Facebook, and we can have a free Zoom consultation discussion where we can talk about the mechanism about personal mantras. Personal mantras are your vibrational frequency between your soul and the consciousness of that Shiva energy, and how to build a relationship and to use it in a powerful way.
So
Here
if
at
you,
the,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to say, if you choose to do that, then you can combine the Om Namah Shivaya plus your personal mantra, which is very powerful, because now you're connecting directly to Shiva.
Right. And on this path, the Sri Kaleshwar path, that's one of the 5 main components of spiritual success on the path. It really creates a bulletproof to your process and your direction, and it accelerates the meditation process in a very profound, deep, and powerful way. And so I wanted to say that and share that so that for people that are new, that don't know anything about meditation, having a personal mantra is really a very important component. Now, having said that, the second aspect of is to visit a powerful place. And over the last 11 years, 12 years, we have created this temple in Los Angeles, which is a power spot, which vibrates at a high frequency that allows you to really come, visit, recharge, decharge, and rejuvenate yourself. That's the nature of power spots. They vibrate at such a high frequency that they allow you to go into meditation very easily, very smoothly, very deeply. And it's all about getting into the higher states of consciousness. Meditation is about linking your consciousness with the higher supernatural vibration of cosmic consciousness. And it's, it sounds very theoretical, but in all practicality, so much happens in that union of meditation. And during Shiva Ratri, we're going to delve and dive and really go deeply within the process of going into that vibration. So from 8 o'clock onward on this Friday night, we are going to be meditating. We will be pouring water and milk on some of the Shiva lingams here that we have. And, we do it because my experience is that it opens up a portal of energy, and it opens up a vibrational frequency that is unique to this time. And what happens when you open up that portal is that you absorb it into your soul. You absorb the vibrations into your consciousness, and it actually helps to feed the soul and to really give you that deep connectedness to that divine energy. And that's what we're going to be doing on Friday night, Kausuke, here at the temple. And so if you can't be here, what we're going to wind up doing is having a ethereal connection via the Zoom and all the other digital platforms. It's like another consciousness, I tell you. The whole digital media platform is about learning how to connect via the ether. That's basically it for me. And boy, I tell you, there's a learning curve to that. So that's what we're going to be doing on Shiva Ratri night. Everyone can tune in. It'll be very exciting. I'm really amazed how the energy through video really transmits wherever you might be.
So if you're wondering who this character is behind me, that's Shiva. I put him up there so that you can go online too, and there's some beautiful pictures about Shiva. So we're going to open it up, see if anybody has any comments, questions, and then we're going to end with a 10-minute silent meditation for everyone.
Yeah. Everybody's in the deep silence right now. Yes, Doreen.
Well, I have a question that might be a little bit advanced, but that's
Yeah, it's okay.
um so you did spark something interesting for me that I hadn't thought about before, which is the we know we're connecting with Shiva on Shiva Ratri, but the connection to the mother. And I was part of that group in one of the groups in 2008 who connected to the mother on Shiva Ratri and then connected to Jesus later on Shiva Ratri, who merged, as we know, merged with Mahakali. So there's a lot of mother energy in that form also. So yeah, it started me thinking a little bit about because we know of Navaratri as the time when we connect with the mother form, the mother energy, but then this whole connecting with the mother energy on Shiva Ratri, it just made my brain start spinning a little bit about a deeper on a deeper level, going to the mother through the father. I suppose that is what it is when the
Right.
energy's not so bumpy, because during the time the Navaratri times are the times when the seasons are changing, right? Spring and fall, when the energy is very bumpy. So I think we're trying to calm her energy down more than connect with her at that time, right? And so this is an interesting thing that I'm going to bring in this year, about connecting to the mother on Shiva Ratri. And I think we did that last year too. So, but I feel it on a deeper level now. So
Right.
thank you for that.
Right.
And if you have any comments about that.
Yeah, no,
And I'm looking forward to this experience.
good.
Okay.
The mechanism, Doreen, that you're talking about is about understanding the energetic relationship between Shiva and Shakti. Because Swami really focused on connecting to mother, right? And he also knew that it was really important for people to be able to have enough stability energetically to be able to handle the mother's energy, because the mother's energy is very wild at times. And so there are 2 points I wanted to say about that. He wanted everybody to connect directly to the mother and her energy and receive her blessings so that in turn it could turn into blessings and boons to help heal people on the planet and people that come to you, right? At the same time, he also knew that the only way to really get there was through purification. And that's part of this path, is that to the degree that you can purify out the poison, the illusions, self-illusions, the Maya, and develop a deep ability to discriminate, discern, and have wisdom, then you're able to handle when the energy would come. Because if you're not, I'll give you an example. If you haven't purified anger as an example, if you receive quantums of energy, what's going to happen is that it's going to bring up the pain and the anger related to that pain. And then you won't be able to handle and use God's energy in a positive way, right? Similarly, if you don't have control over your karma energy or your attraction energy, what's going to happen? You'll receive all this energy. You'll develop this obsession with karma energy because you haven't balanced it, you haven't purified it, you haven't really put it under your control so that you can manage it in a proper way. And that's what I found on this path, the most difficult, because if you don't have patience, you'll just get diverted, because that's the way the mother does it. She uses your weakest link to divert you away from mastery, right? I know this is a very advanced discussion, but why not? Why not have this discussion? Because it is part of this path. Purification and really knowing how to balance your energies when they become out of control, right? If you don't have a handle on your own unworthiness, we'll be constantly using the energy that we receive in order to overcompensate for the unworthiness that we feel about ourselves. So we're always going to be constantly looking for outer praise and love from other people rather than holding it from within ourselves. Does that make sense, Doreen?
Yeah, no, thank you for all the additions. Oh.
No, it's been my personal experience, you know. I thought to myself at some particular point in time on my spiritual path, because I was frustrated that I hadn't received certain experiences, right? And you can unmute yourself, Doreen, because this is a great conversation.
Can I just back up for 1 second?
Yeah.
So you mentioned a word, I don't know if new people and will know what it means, karma. What does karma mean?
Yeah, karma means desires, both, you know, sexual desires, you know, it's kind of like someone that can't seem to get enough satisfaction with just one partner, but they have to just keep searching out for sexual partners. It's like uncontrolled sexual energy. That's one part of it. The other part of the karma energy is the obsession that we have with accumulating power for the purposes of control. You know, it's kind of like our current day, you know, political leaders almost, you know. Sorry to make that analogy, but it's just, you know, it's all about, if we don't have humbleness in our lives, that we know that we're just vehicles of the divine energy, and that we're here to serve humanity in its truest sense, that we're here to help heal a heartbreak that's on the planet, to help heal people that are in depression, to help heal people that are stuck in heartbreak. Then there is no dharma, there's no right action to the divine energy that we receive. Does that make sense, Doreen?
Yeah, and also, the way I see karma, people always say sex, but it can be karma to, always wanting a new car, always wanting a better job, always wanting, it can really take over. People, I think a lot of people live in that loka, in that
Consciousness.
situation
It's a
where they're,
consciousness.
yes, where they're just basically always wanting, wanting, wanting. The desire energy just, it's a fire, it's a fire that keeps going and going and going.
Right.
And when you're free from that, that is free, that is true freedom. When you're free from that karma energy, when you can see that whatever you have is enough, that is
Right.
really enlightenment. I
Right.
tell you what, it really is. It's
Yeah.
something, it is a result too of these practices
Mhm.
and this
Right.
path. It is a freedom from your desire energies running you instead of you putting them in proportion.
Right,
That's right.
exactly. Andrew had to say any obsession, really, you know, it's really the desire, the uncontrolled, unchecked fire of desire, wherever you're focusing it, you know, that's really the case. And you know, the reality is that desires are okay, but on the spiritual path, you've got to change and transform those desires into a higher vibrational desire. And until you realize that the source of the solution or the gratification of those desires are within you. I know it's a big concept, you know, but if you're not feeling love for yourself, you'll never fulfill that desire, right? It's that desire to go back home, to go back to the source of being loved, which is from our physical mother, but also our spiritual mother. But yet at the same time, we're one with her. But until you experience that it's this duality of separation, you know? Okay. Wow. This was an unexpected but very beautiful satsang. I hope people that are going to be watching it really receive any gratification. If you guys that are watching this after the broadcast want to, if you have any other questions, or if you want to connect and find out more, you can instant message me on Facebook, in YouTube, or even you can connect with me via my website, paularieh.com. That's Paul, ARYEH.com. And we're going to be having many of these podcasts where we have these discussions and conversations on the spiritual podcast channel, which we created. And this is our second episode. And I'm so excited because it really is bringing to the forefront the discussion of mastery in the real world and what that looks like as it applies to the principles and the teachings of Sri Kaleshwar, who was a great saint.
And then upcoming, for any of you who might be interested to take other classes with us, please send us your
Subscribe,
email.
like,
Yeah, subscribe, like,
send us your
send your
email.
email. They're rolling classes. We do have some things coming up. So please, if you're new and you want to know more, we will be having some rolling classes. So please give us your email and we will contact you when we have them dates and times.
All right. So we're going to just close with the closing mantras and sending blessings to everybody who's watching this. And thanking you for your time, thanking you for your engagement and participation by watching this podcast. And all the participants here, Anju and Doreen's
And
Wayne, who's a really divine soul and is part of our family. And I really appreciate your participation in this satsang.
Mhm.
So let's conclude by doing the closing mantras.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, God bless you all. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Shiva Ratri night. And may Shiva visit and bless you all.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
See
Thank
you soon.
See you
you.
Bye.
soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.